I'm CJ, and this is Truth Tuesday. I absolutely love the book of John, and I just kind of came across something that I found really, really interesting about the way the book of John starts and the way the book of John ends. And I've never, ever made this connection before, and so I want to share it with you guys today. The book of John starts talking about the Word, which is Jesus. In chapter 1, starting in verse 1, it says this: "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it." And then if you jump down to verse 14, it says this: "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as the only Son of the Father, full of grace and truth." And I love the way that John starts out. And I've always thought it was really cool that the Word became flesh, that Jesus was the Word, which is a shout out back to Genesis, where God spoke everything into creation through the Word, and Jesus had a part in creation. And I've always thought that verse was really captivating. And it was only recently that I made the connection to how the book of John, as it comes to a close or near the close of the book of John, how it connects to one another. In John chapter 13, starting in verse 31, it says this: Jesus is talking with his disciples on the night he is about to be crucified. And it says this: "When he had gone out, Jesus said, 'Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will also glorify himself and glorify him at once. Little children, yet a little while I am with you. You will seek me, and just as I said to the Jews, so now I say to you, where I am going, you cannot come.'" This is where the connection really comes in. "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also are to love one another. By this, all people will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." And I have, at the surface level, those two scriptures don't do a whole lot of connecting. But I started thinking about this idea of God's creation and God coming to earth and dying for that creation that he loved, and Jesus' new commandment of love for one another. And as I started to think about that, I thought, all right, God created the earth. He created mankind. He loved mankind. And because of his love for mankind, the Word became flesh. And then Jesus ends by encouraging us to be loving. And so my connection here, and this is just from my own head, but my connection here that I had never made before is, how often do my words become flesh? How often does the love that I express become more than just words spoken into air, but become actions that truly give people life? You see, in the beginning of John, it says, "The Word was with God, and the Word was God, and in him was life. And the words became flesh, and that life came to man." How often do I give life by allowing my words to become more than just words, but to become flesh, to become something that interacts with the people around me, to become something that shows love in a very tangible, Christ-centered way, to where the people that I am loving truly feel and experience the love of God, that my words would be more than just words, but that they would become flesh in that person's life. So I just want to encourage you this week, as you think through the things that you do, the actions that you take, the relationships that you have with other people, allow your words to become flesh. Allow the way that you express love to become tangible and something that truly is felt and impacts the other person with the love of Jesus Christ. Thanks for listening.